May I be excused? I need to use the restroom.
No, I don't care about your personal problems.
Can't make these things up. These things actually have happened in my career. I've been a witness to a lot of drama. I'll tell you what, you want to see some real drama, get into a law enforcement agency anywhere in the world, and you'll see extremes at any level. So, in this specific scenario, we're talking about understanding your surroundings, understanding and taking an account with reference to the people that you're interacting with, appreciating the fact that they may have some type of medical issue or needs. Telling somebody that you want to finish talking with them and not allowing them to use the restroom is a big no go. In this specific scenario, that person actually, in that incident, that person urinated on herself um, during the meeting. The person that was she was asking permission to step out so she could use the restroom was a director of a law enforcement organization that I worked for, and it was heated. I believe personally, based on that impression of that incident, and then other incidents that happened after that, was that person, that director, was not happy and did not like that division of corrections. It was a division within his under his authority, and he was just very upset. And he took a lot of his anger out on those leaders, those senior leaders in that division. At that time, I was not part of the senior leadership, but I did observe what occurred, and it was about, I would say, it fits or meets the level of simple assault, because the fluctuations of voice, the pretty much not allowing them to leave, not allowing them to use the restroom. There was a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of aggravation, and it was an impression, a permanent impression. So in my mind, I always thought that they don't understand or didn't care about the fact that in the future they'll always be known as as this kind of person. And you know what? That their um what I would say, their methods or their reputation continued on after the fact, and the behavior continued as well. So to the point where they literally shot themselves in the foot, and were faded out of that organization. Those other folks were, in my opinion, at that incident, were, I would say, traumatized, because um, they didn't have any control over their situation. And in how I look at it, I felt like they were kind of held hostage, and they were so scared and intimidated. Here in the U.S., you see that a lot. You have like different personality. You have that alpha, especially in law enforcement, this alpha male, alpha female personality, and then you have these folks that are kind of like just followers, or they're not in the they're in a law enforcement organization, but they have a different way of being, like a way of that. They're not necessarily overly aggressive. They're professional, and sometimes they don't know how to respond to the stress, because they've never been in that situation. Um, having been in the military, I understood the stress. I understood what was going on, and I also understood how unprofessional uh, that top leader was at that time, and he taught me a lot of things about understanding the people that are in the room, understanding the person that you're communicating with, appreciating their needs with reference to, like, if they got to use the restroom or maybe take a break. Just because you want to get something off your chest doesn't mean that it's right there, right then. It might be a situation where uh, it needs to be more formal, where we all can sit down and have a conversation as adults, as professionals, right? So, in this situation, tell you guys that I learned a lot. I learned pretty much that um, well, things are unpredictable, and that if someone can get away with being a tyrant, pretty much in the workplace, they'll do it. They'll do it, and until somebody slaps them on the hand, or they get rid of them, or they get rid of themselves, literally. So just things to think about, food for thought. If you're in that leadership position, just appreciate the people that are around you and understand their needs. And if you're going to have a meeting, maybe it's a good idea that restroom breaks before the meeting. Make sure everybody's comfortable. And if it's going to be um, a serious conversation about uncomfortable topics, then be prepared for what may come of that. Put it in the context of, hey, we're gonna have these like uncomfortable conversations about these things, but be prepared to hear the truth, things that you may not want to hear, because maybe there's something you don't know, and they're gonna inform you on it. And instead of you flying off the handle, you take down some good notes and look at things objectively and resolve them in a way where you're a true professional and you display real leadership with reference to resolving the problems. Remember, we want our people to grow. We want them to expand. We want to leave the organization better than the way we found it. And that starts with leaving good impressions and showing a good example of what we're doing. Talk to you guys soon.
Does anyone need to use the restroom or need some water before we get started?